Hey, what's going on, guys? It's Rich here. In today's video, I'm going to be talking about my goal and achievement on trying to reach the rank of legend in Street Fighter 6. Now, some people might think, but you've reached Ultimate Master, how come you want to go further into the rank system? The reason for this being is because I want to try to achieve something a bit further up, as in make myself improve on some things while I'm progressing my way to legend, which is what I'm going to be discussing as well in this video. Like basically on the little list on goals that I need to work on and to help me improve with working on reaching the rank of legend. Now, the legend I'm talking about, I'm not talking about when the new phase starts and it's like 1700. No, if that happens, then I'm not going to count that. I'm counting like anything above 1900 because I did say my set goal will be 1900, probably this phase or next phase. But I decided to instead of progressing to an extra 100 MR, I think it'd be a lot more better for me if I progress further up higher than the 1900. So let's get into the video and discuss on what are the things that I need to learn while progressing to the rank of legend. So let's get into it. So the first thing that I need to work on when it comes to trying to reach the rank of legend or anything above 1800 is I need to work on both my decision making and execution. Now, obviously anyone above master or any type of rank is no doubt knows how to do a combo in Street Fighter 6. However, when it comes to players higher up, they will optimize certain risk rewards constantly and adapt within the first set of the match. So say like if a YouTuber who's 1800 or higher sees opponent realizing what they're playing as, like if they're playing defensive or aggressive, they'll use that knowledge to understand on their matchup, see what to do in the situation. Is he going to play defensive and zone? Is he going to go aggressive? You can use an idea on how to punish him for playing the way how they're playing on their playstyle. Now, for me, as a Chun Li player, I don't do that sometimes. I end up going a bit aggressive and ended up getting a bit salty because of that. If you've seen some of my recent Twitch streams, I end up getting a bit salty. I tend to rage quit. Even in some matches, I don't want to, but it's just my way how I am, and I am quite guilty for doing that. So that's kind of a sad thing to also work on as well, is to less rage quitting or stop rage quitting. So apart from that, so all of that is roughly to where I need to work on as well, just making good risk rewards and not obviously mashing too many buttons, because if I keep on pressing like a certain button, then I'm just going to get countered and end up losing the match because of it, and then I end up rage quitting because that's just me being a crybaby about it. But apart from that, let's get on to the next one. The next one that I'm going to be talking about as my number two thing to work on is mastering the matchup on who I'm facing next or who I'm facing. Basically, if I'm facing a character like a Kimberly, a Luke, a JP, I need to understand the matchup as a whole. Like certain moves that they do that could easily punish counter me. Like for example, Luke's back heavy punch that has the animation is forward, but in reality the hitbox is back. So I need to learn on to when to be ready for that as a way to eat my frames if they go for a drive rush as well with it. So it's a meaty back heavy. Other options will be obviously habits on stop them on if they go for a drive rush habit on they go a bit aggressive as that. If they're a Kimby player, I need to learn obviously on ways to punish them with ways that they keep on drive rushing. Other tech patterns with being like if they're going for a throw loop, obviously I just got to learn on what to do in the situation, either being a backdash or with Chun Li, and her main one is her air lightning kicks, which is one of the main things to use when it comes to throw looping or any other type of situation in the corner. So I need to work on that. But I also need to also work on not spamming air lightning kicks as a whole when it comes to like in the middle of the match, because if I whiff and they punish counter me, that's me into the corner. So I need to learn on not to do that. Only use the air lightning kicks in the corner, so I can push them into the corner and side switch them, which is one thing. Another thing that I also need to work on as well, probably a main thing that Chun-Li players, particularly me including, will need to work on as well, is if I'm getting throw looped or if I tend to obviously miss my tech throw and they go for a shimmy, try not to panic and try not to obviously crumble in burning yourself out. So basically what I'm saying is trying to defend as best you can under the pressure that I had to come against when I'm fighting against very good players. Now, when fighting strong players or any other type of player, sometimes you tend to panic quite a bit. I myself panic, and when I do panic, it results into me getting angry and end up tilt queuing because of that. So that's another thing I need to work on. So if I need to always make sure to obviously check my drive rush constantly, see if I have enough to obviously go for a combo. If I don't have enough drive rush, I can just go for like a small combo that would either push him into the corner or do a set up damage. So I can do medium punch into crouching medium punch into SBK, or I can do lightning kicks after that. So that way I could use that to push him into the corner a bit so I can put more pressure on him and let me have my drive gauge back. So that's the thing I need to work on, because if you see my stream, you can normally would see that obviously I tend to always burn myself out very quickly, and it results into me losing the match because of that. So it just obviously it doesn't help me out, and it makes no sense on why, you know, like say if a 1900 or 2000 Chun Li player is drive rushing and obviously burning himself out, that's not a good way to improve, in my opinion. So that's not going to like help out me on improving majority on how to play better in the matchups that I have to deal with. So that's my third thing to work on, is obviously working on my defense under pressure and try not to obviously get mad or panic in the situation when fighting the player. The other thing I need to work on as well will be my adapting speed. Basically, I need to adapt in the matchup more. What's the saying? I don't know the certain word for it, but basically, obviously, I need to adapt on whether they're going to go the same playstyle as again. So it's kind of linking to my matchup mastery, or figuring out on adapting my decision making. So I need to work on obviously doing less of certain patterns, drive rush habits, like I said before, and obviously not trying to burn myself out. So I just need to adapt on those sort of as myself. But I need to adapt on how my opponent is going. If he's going to go aggressive, or he's going to go defensive, he's just going to play patient and with punish me on my and make a better good execution and risk rewards, something like that. It all depends on like how I'm going to adapt it and how to understand it fully. So that's a little small thing I need to work on as well. The other thing I do need to work on most definitely is probably the elephant in the room, is do not tilt queue. I've had this so many times, and I've had so many of my friends who watch my stream to tell me to take a break, and I ended up going mad at them because end up telling them to shut up or anything like that, which is obviously doesn't help me out, and it just makes people less interested in watching my content, because I don't want to end up causing any more problems for people to watch my stream and end up getting annoyed because I'm telling them to shut up or being rude to them, which is something that I don't want to do in the first place. But obviously, if I'm tilt queuing, then that's on me. So that's the other thing I need to work on, is obviously do not tilt queue. If I end up getting tilted, just come off, take a few minutes off, and then come back. If I'm still feeling the same, then obviously just take it a bit longer and go through obviously some other things in the meantime while I'm de-stressing in the situation. So it'll be less tilt queue to this one. The next thing I need to work on as well is, if in case I end up linking this to the tilt queue. As I said as well, I need to watch my replays to help me understand most of the matchup as well and adapt on like what to do in a situation if he's going to go for something that I don't understand like before that I can understand now. And that was obviously just watch the replay and understand on things that I could have done better or things I could have not prevent in a situation where I end up getting a bit aggressive and it puts me in the corner and I end up losing the match because of it. So that's the thing I need to work on. So as well, because if I'm going to carry on not watching replays or understand my issues or cons about matchup knowledge, then it's just going to make me lose more matches and end up putting me back down to like certain rank or certain whatever. But at the end of the day, I just need to like realize on things to understand more in the future when it comes to achieving legend. The next thing I probably need to do as well is linking it to the previous one, watching replays. I may need to also watch pro players, whether it's like Moke, Goichi, Suiya. I don't know how to pronounce his name, but I remember him as Oa-chan or Oe-chan. I don't know how to pronounce their name, so forgive me on that one. Just go through their matchups just to see on like how will they perform in a matchup, like whether it's against a Luke, a JP, a Mai or Marissa any type of like play style and see in like what they do in the situation, whether if they play defensive or aggressive, and I can use that to understand on like how it can help me improve in the matchup against the characters, as I said. So that's another little topic I need to set myself as to do in the future if I want to reach legend as well. So that basically wraps up with today's video. It's not like a type of video that I expect to make in the whole Biscuit Talks About series. I feel like for me, if I want to improve, I need to work on things that I need to know in the meantime and things to not to do, whether it's like the tilt queue or being aggressive to my viewers and everything. It's just it won't help me out in the like following future if I want to carry on playing Street Fighter 6. I will still play Street Fighter 6, but nothing like how I'm trying to play it as of now. I want to obviously improve and help out players in the meantime, so it all comes down to me obviously working on that. But other than all that, I appreciate you all for watching. Apologies for obviously the way how the video is designed. If you have any thoughts or anything you like to ask me, feel free to let me know in the comments. Same thing as like things I could have also added in with my set goals and such. But I appreciate you all for watching, and I wish you all the best and see you later. Peace.